This free agency, it is, whew, there is some bad blood going on here. So this past Saturday, I had an amazing day at Citi Field. There's all these events happening. There's all these different press conferences, and Steve Cohen and David Stearns are doing a whole press, and the topic of the Pete Alonso free agency gets brought up. David Stern gives his answer, and the fans aren't happy with it, so they all start chanting, keep Alonso, we got to keep Pete. And finally, Steve Cohen puts his hand up there. He's like, stop. And then he gives his whole speech of what's really happening. So Steve Cohen says, I don't like the negotiations. I don't like what has been presented to us. If it stays this way, we're going to have to get used to the fact that we may have to go forward with the players that we have. Damn! See, this is why I love that. Good for Steve Cohen, because I am so sick, like I said in the last video, of all the Met fans, this minority of Met fans, this crazy extreme Met fan group that is constantly petitioning, we got to keep Pete Alonso, keep up Pete Alonso. I got to say, the disrespect that the fans booing at David Stearns and doing that whole chant, I just thought was arrogant. It was immature. It wasn't right. I mean, after all they did in 2024, getting us to the NLCS, which no one expected. And not only that, the big one is signing Juan Soto, the big contract that everyone wanted all year long, all the sports analysis in New York, they all wanted him, and you finally got Juan Soto. They got a Yankee player, for crying out loud, which never really happens. Am I right? But the one thing I really took away from all this, which I'm not even surprised, and again, I praise Cohen for it, he took a jab at Scott Boras. Now, Scott Boras is a great agent to have for many players. If you're really good, he can get you a lot of money, and he'll get a lot of money for himself too. But he is greedy as hell. The guy, I mean, he has some hell of a mind, but this whole thing with Pete Alonso, you got to get really practical with this, man. Steve Cohen said Juan Soto's contract was tough. This with Pete Alonso is exhausting. And he could tell he looked exhausted from just even explaining it. I mean, it's just tiring. I think they've done everything they can. And I give them props because I think they're trying to show to Scott Boras, hey, we bended the knee with Brandon Nimmo, Juan Soto, and we're not doing this with Pete. This is what's on the table. You take it or leave it. I mean, how much money do you want? The guy did not have a good 2 seasons. Yes, Pete Alonso did great in Milwaukee. I said it before. He did a great job. But I mean, come on. They gave him a good contract. 3 years, up to $70 million. You're going to turn that down? And I'm sure the offers that Pete Alonso might get from the Blue Jays is not going to be comparable to what the Mets are giving him. They are giving a significant offer. Pete Alonso needs to be realistic, and Scott Boras needs to be realistic. I don't understand. I mean, for Scott Boras, you just did this huge contract for Juan Soto. You're getting so much money, bro. What do you got to prove? What do you got to prove? But man, when I heard Steve Cohen do that whole speech, him giving his facts to the fans of what's happening and what he feels, I honestly clapped. I freaking love this guy. I love that he's our owner. This man knows what he's doing. David Stearns knows what he's doing. And no other fan at this point should question what they're doing. They have a plan. They have an agenda. So let's get real here, people. Let's get over this whole Pete Alonso thing. If he's back, great. I will be happy if he's back. But Pete's, this is all on you, pal. This is all on you, and this is all on the decisions you've made. You've turned down every contract. You hire a greedy agent. What more do you want, pal? This is on you. If you want to be with the Mets, fire Scott Boras. Fire that guy. Fire Scott Boras and talk to Steve Cohen, and he'll make it happen for you. And we'll all be happy, living go about our miserable lives. Because I am so done with this. I'm so done with this. So thank you for watching this video, and if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button.